In today's Necron Tier List video, we are going to look at the best Necron Elites units in 2022. And it's coming right up.
Necrons!
Nick speaking, and welcome to this video. Right, today we are looking at the plethora of Elite choices. I believe there's 14 choices in total. And I am going to pick the top 3 choices. Wow, this is going to be tough. Well, first of all, let's put some crosses through a few units and just narrow the field. So the first cross, no surprise here, it's going to be the Canoptic Reanimator. Even with the points reduction, it's just too easy to kill. It needs its ability to not have line of sight, so you can hide it and still get those RP bonuses. Next, I'm going to cross off Plasma Sights. Yes, pretty useful for Scorpec Destroyers, +1 to Strength. However, they're not part of the unit. They can kill your Scorpec Destroyers and they give up easy kill points. I'm also going to cross out the Hexmark Destroyer. I know it's a popular unit, it is a fun unit, and it just sounds really good. 6 guns coming in, but the reality is, unless you're up against toughness 3 units, it's not going to kill that much, even if you give it the relic where it can do mortal wounds. It's playable, but it's not in the top 3 of this list. And neither is the Triarch Stalker. It's a unit which I've used a lot in the past. Having that bonus to re-roll the ones to hit is really useful. However, I think in the current game that we play, it's not quite as good as it used to be. It is definitely playable, it's a cool unit, but it just hasn't made it into any of my 9th edition lists. So I am crossing it out. Next, I'm going to cross out the Canoptic Spider, which is a unit I actually use. It's a good unit, it's nice and cheap, it has some options. However, it's not the best in the elite slot, and I really have to narrow the field down, so he's crossed out. Along with the Catan Shard of the Deceiver. The Deceiver is out of the list. The redeployment, okay, fair enough, but there are better Catans. He's off the list. And talking of Catans, I'm also going to remove the Transcendent Catan. A nice cheaper option and maybe good for smaller games, but well, he's off the list for this top 3. I'm also going to swiftly cross out Cryptothralls. They were really good at one point, but the rules have changed so much now with the Lookout Sir rule and how we can score secondary objectives with bigger units mainly doing the job. Cryptothralls, they're out. I'm also going to rule out death marks. Now, I know a lot of you like death marks, and they do have some use, especially how secondaries are done now. A lot of opponents are taking small, deep striking units, and the intercept rule, well, it could be useful. However, they don't do that much damage in my experience. Yes, they can make quite a nice distraction unit. You could potentially take a bigger unit. You could even hunker them down on an objective because they have that 2+ ballistic skill, really useful. You know, they're definitely playable, but are they in the top 3 of the elite slot? I would say no. So next I'm going to rule out Lich Guard, a very good unit. As you know, I've been using 25 Lich Guard in my Silent King list, that 4++ invulnerable save with the shield version, really useful. A very good unit, but at 28 points, a pretty expensive unit as well, and sometimes you have to weigh up what a unit can do and how many points it costs you to actually do it. So we're nearly at our top 3, and I have to say the next choice between 3rd place and 4th place, well, there's not much choice between them. It depends on what you need in your list. I am going to put the Void Dragon as 4th place. Basically, it's the vehicle killer version of the Nightbringer. So Nightbringer in at 3rd place. A very useful unit. He's awesome in close combat and he has the powers of the Catan. He can be a frightening unit for your opponent. Now in 2nd place I'm going to place Flayed Ones. So Flayed Ones have come down in points a lot recently. They are now 10 points a miniature and they have the core keyword. Not that that's so important with these, but but it gives you a lot of options. So you could take a small unit, you could maybe deep strike them in. Very useful for taking secondary objectives, especially things like R&D. But we have the option also to take these guys in bigger units, up to 20 in one unit. Really useful, especially with the core keyword. Give these guys My Will Be Done, give them a 5+ invulnerable save from the Chronomancer, give them +1 to strength from the Stratagem, take them in Novok and just shred your opponent. Plus, of course, they have RP to help them survive. Yes, only a 4+ save, toughness 4, but definitely pretty survivable. These guys can be hard to kill and also can do a lot of damage. Flayed ones, a massive tick for me, but they are only in second place. But only very closely to Scorpec Destroyers, who have come first place in my list. They've come down in points, they've gained the core keyword, they have some good weapons with good damage and good AP. They can move 8 inches, so nice movement, a 3+ save, and their only real drawback is that they don't have an invulnerable save. But of course we can take the Chronomancer to give them that invulnerable save. Oh, and also allowing them to re-roll the charge. Don't forget that, because that is very useful. I've played Scorpec Destroyers in all sorts of unit sizes, from 3 to 4, right up to a unit size of 6. They're all usable. If you want to play them more defensively, maybe as a counter-assault unit near a backfield objective, then just take 3 or 4 of them. If you want to play them more aggressively, then potentially 5 or 6. Obviously, if you go for a unit of 6, you have to be more careful with unit coherency, and of course you're a little bit more vulnerable to blast weapons. These guys also make a good point on the battlefield to put your Technomancer, getting these guys back up each turn, really useful. They're infantry, they can re-roll the ones to hit. You could put a Scorpec Lord with them if you wished, but not necessary, and certainly not the best HQ choice, as we've discussed in a previous video. So a good amount of elites units, some good choices. That's my top 3, but what... Yes, is my curry coming? Hi there. Oh, lovely. Thank you very much. Fantastic. Cheers. Bye. So that's my top 3, but what do you think? Let me know in the comments box below. Now, if you enjoyed this video, here is a playlist for you to check out where I review all of the other slots from the Necron Codex.